Hello everyone, today we will continue our journey to learn programming without coding technology. We will learn more about the colon operator. In our previous lessons, we learned that using this operator, we can create a list quickly, like say a list that contains the numbers from 1 to 10, or a list that contains characters, say from A to D, like this. And we learned that after creating this list, we will just have a normal list that we can use using square brackets, or we can print directly using the print component as we have here like this. So today I would like to explain more about this operator because it have different use cases. It is not just about creating a list, it also can be used for creating strings and can be used too for using a list as a hash table. So to create a string using this operator, we will use the assignment component and we will define a variable called str, and this variable will contain as a string some word, any word that we can use or we would like to use, say hello. But the point is we just use one word and this word will be in lowercase. So if I defined str as the string hello and defined str2 as another string and I typed hello 2, it will be converted automatically to a lowercase. So the point is this operator is used to define strings that is just a one word, and this string will be in lowercase, and if it was not in lowercase it will be converted to a lowercase. So we can print str and we can print str2 like this, and we see the word is converted to lowercase. Now we would like to know how we can use this operator, the colon operator, to define a list quickly, a list that contains a key and a value. So let us start at first by using the assignment component, and I will define a variable called myList. I will start by using the colon operator to define a string called key, and then I will use the assignment operator and I will define the value. This value could be just another string as value, like this. So what will happen here? This is the same as creating a new list that contains the key as a string like this and the value as a string like this. So we have just different ways to declare the list quickly. Let us print these lists and see the output. So we will print my list, and after that we will print my list too, and we will see the output. We have key value, and so on. Now remember that the value could be a string like here, like we have here, or it could be a number or a list or an object, as we can see. So let us use the assignment component again, and I will define my list 3, and this time I will use the key to be like country, like this, and the value will be like USA. And then I will define my list 4, and I will use another key, say like year, and I will type 2023. Now let us use the print component and print my list 3 as expression and my list 4 2. So when we run, we will get the expected value. We have country, which is USA, and we have the year, which is 2023. So what we learned now, we learned that using the colon operator, with one word, we just define a string, and this string will contain this word as a lowercase. And if we added the assignment operator after this word, we can define a value. And then we will have a list that contains two items. The first item will be the key, and the second item will be the value, as we could have here. So now let us move on and create another example. And in this example, we will use this feature to create like a hash table that contains different keys and different values. So I will use the assignment component, and I can declare the list here directly, like say a list equal inside square brackets. I can now here define the different keys, like say the name is ring, and the year or the type is dynamic, and the year, which is the release year, this language is released in 2016, and we can type this as number if we would like. So we can also type the license, and it is MIT. So now what I did here, each key and value will create just a new list. So we have a parent list, and inside this parent list we have sublists. So if I created something like this, it will give me the same result if I used the square bracket to define sublists and type it just the key as the first item and the value as the second item. I will just get the same list that we have when we used the colon operator. So what is the point? The point is just using the colon operator is a shortcut to write or define the key value lists quickly. So let us try printing a list first as expression and see what will happen, and also we will print a list too. Now run and look at this. We get the same result. It is identical result. We have name here and name here. Just it is the same list defined using two different ways. It is the same content, but sure we have different variables, a list and a list 2. So you can choose this way to represent the list, or you can choose this way. After that, as you know, we can use just a for loop to access the list, and we can process this list. And let us say get the list size, and I will get a list in size variable like this. Then I will create a for loop to access this list, and inside the list now I can just print any value, print the key or print the value if I want. Let us say I would like just to print the value. So we can access the list like this using the t variable, and we can then print the value, which will be the second item. We have the key in the first item and the value will be in the second item. So when we run this, we get the different values. We have ring, it is a dynamic language created in 2016, and it uses the MIT license. So another way, as you know, is using for in loop, and we can access the same list like this. And let us just print, this time we will print the key. So I will print T1 like this as expression. And now we run, we have this case, we have name, type, year, and license. So good, okay. Now, remember this, it is not necessary to access the list, when it is defined as a hash table, it is not necessary to use the for loop to access the list, or to use like the square brackets and type the index of the item. We can do a search operation. This is the point from having a dictionary. Say I would like to print the value related to the key name. So I will type this print a list, and the key is just name. So by doing this, I expect printing ring. So run and I see ring. If I printed the license, I expect to see the MIT, as you know. So let us see this, and we get MIT. So this point is clear. We can just use square brackets and we type the key value. We can type it like this using the column operator, or we can just type it as a string. Say I can print the value related to the type key like this. And when we run it, we get it is dynamic. It is the same as typing like this. We get the same result. So I hope now this is clear. You learned how to create a sublist using the equal operator, and how we can use the key to access the value. And the same idea could be applied if we would like to update a value. So I can just access the list item and then use the assignment to set a new value, and it will be nice and work as we expect. So let us see just a final example, and this time we will create a new list, and it will be a new empty list like this, and then we can add a group of keys and values to this list using, say, a for loop if we would like to do this. So, or we can just get some input from the user. We have the choice. So let us say I will use a while loop, and this while loop will continue forever. I will ask the user to enter a country name, or enter a language name, programming language name like this. And after entering a programming language name, I will get this in a string. Say it will be clang, which means we have a string variable. So after that, I will ask the user to enter a year, or the release year, like this. And I will store this in a variable called in year, and it will be a number. So what will happen now? The user will just enter two values, and I will check if clang equal null. So we have empty name. We can just break the loop using exit command like this, and we can move this up. Also, we can have the same check after in year if we would like, but I will just use this. So for now, after entering the language name and the release year, I will add this to our list. So we can use add item. I will add to our A list the value, which is like a new list, sublist, and it will be the key and the value. The key will be clang, and the value will be in year, like this. After that, after we are done, we will print a message to ask about enter any language name. Like say it's search operation. Then we ask for entering a programming language name, and we get this in clang. Then after that we print the value that represents the release year. So we can just use the print component, and we will use a list and clang as a key like this, and we expect to get the year. So let us try this. When we run, it will ask to enter a language name. So let us say we have ring, and the release year is 2016, like this. And we can type another language name. Say I will type Python, and it is like this, 1990. So we can also type Ruby, and it is like this, 1995. If I remember correctly, it is 95 or 93. I'm not sure about this, but okay, let us type it like this. Maybe this is the release date of Java. Anyway, after we entered 3 records, I will just press enter, and now we have a search operation. We can type the name of any language and get the release year. So let us type Python and see what will happen. We get the release year. So I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. Thank you very much, and see you in our next lesson.